Okay, here we go. Let's get into the game. So this is a game between the basically two of the top pairs. So let's get into the games now. Okay, so these so far the past rally is kind of a normal rally. It's Zheng Sui and Huang Yaqing get on the attack and never look back. They targeted a lot of variations, and let's take a quick look. Okay. Okay. I don't know if you can notice that little detail when Higashino returned the shadow, his motion, the head of the racket is going up. When you go up, the only issue is this: unless you have a very steep angle, when you have that angle, the shadow can go downward. But otherwise, because the way you hit the shadow is you hit the base and then you go up, the shadow will go up. The base of the shadow will go up and it will travel slower. And that's one of the reasons you see how high the shadow is when Zheng Sui get it. So when you can get your shadow at that level, you really have the whole court open to you. So you can send it anywhere you want to. And look at the two Japanese, their position here, and you can see there's a big gap on their left side of their court, but there's also a gap in between the two Japanese players. So Zheng Sui has a lot of choices. Okay, and he chose to push it straight and to the back of the court. You see, that's a smart choice because that's the easiest one. If he did it cross, it could be intercepted by Higashino. She's very, very quick, and so he just makes sure it go past the front court player and goes to the back court. And you can see that Watanabe had to use his backhand because he's left-handed. So use his backhand, and you see it's a high lift. Where is it? There it is. It's a very high lift, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's very deep. Okay, see where Zheng Sui jumps. See where he jumps. It's not. He jumps a little bit backward because it's a fast shadow, but when he jumps and he goes forward, and look at his look at the swing of the racket. Look at the swing, and look at the shadow. That's the shadow. That's the flying shadow. So this is actually a beautiful still, and you can see that it's a great one. Another thing I want to point out is pay attention to Zheng Sui. After he smashes, his body naturally goes forward, and this is something when I coach, I try to tell my student all the time. You got to make sure your body is going forward. You can't stay where you are, and you'll be out of position. And at the same time, I want you to pay attention to where the Japanese stand. They are both in good defensive positions, so do not expect this smash is going to kill them. And the smash is cross court to the female player, and Higashino she had a choice to drive it back to her own side here. That would be a great defense, but because the shadow is so fast, and she couldn't really do that, and she can only lift it back to where Zheng Sui is. This is one of the general rules of badminton. When it's fast-paced, usually the shadow will go back to where it came from. So that's why when you're on attack, you gotta use fast shadow to control the placement of the shadow. And then Zheng Sui made another smash. Now this time the smash is to the male player. Usually you try to attack the female player, but it's good to have variations. And of course, again, it's not killing anything. And see how see how Watanabe returned the shadow. He returned the defense. It's a smash. It's a big smash. He returned that all the way across to the other side of the court. This is the danger of smashing to the male player, because they can switch the court. But this is not an issue for Zheng Sui and Huang Yaqing at all. You can see that Zheng Sui just swoops there and to do it, and Huang Yaqing moved to this side by a couple steps just to its attacking position again. And the same thing for the Japanese players. You see that both Japanese players moved to this side as well. So they are in good defensive position. The only difference is on the left side, when Zheng Sui was attacking on the left side, he was facing the male player. Now he's facing the female player. Is in a better position. Just one change, he's already in a better position. And another smash, and Higashino just pushed it back. If you pay attention, you can see the little movement by Huang Yaqing. She moved a little bit behind, a little bit back, because the shadow is behind her. So she moves a little bit back to cover a little bit larger ground of the court. And then Zheng Sui just shows how good he is, and just moving back and still smash. This is actually a flatter smash, because when you're moving backward, your smash tend to be flatter. But because the position is very good, it's to the left shoulder of Higashino, and she wasn't ready, so the return below the tape. All right, next one. Okay, first, this is Huang Yaqing serve to Watanabe. Now, when you serve to the male player, did you notice the return here? Let's see the return again. Okay, it's a short serve. It's the same serve she did to Higashino. Remember I told you, Higashino, her racket head goes up. So that caused the shadow to be a little bit low, and to the mid-court area, that kind of put them in the defensive position right away. Now let's see how Watanabe put it. Okay, you see that? So what Watanabe did is just move forward, and the racket head up, and then goes down. Just push it down. And so the shuttle goes totally downward. And see how low Zheng Sui had to retrieve the shuttle. So what he did is he just lifted to the female player, and it's a female player, so he's not totally afraid of the smash there. Although Higashino has a fantastic smash, but still it's a female player, so he did that. Now, I want to point out one thing is this: if it's Huang Yaqing, probably she's already going up, and that will give space to the male player. Watanabe definitely can do it. He has that capability. He can go back, retrieve back into smash, and then they will be on attack immediately. But Higashino, I don't know whether it's confidence, the arrogance that she believes her ability, or because of her habit. It could be either way. By the way, the word I use, arrogance, is not in the negative way. I think when you play, you got to be arrogant. You got to trust your ability, right? Although in the team sports, you also need to give your you want to win. You want to maximize everybody's capability. So, but in this case, she didn't go up, and she actually goes back to smash. And to me, that's a no-no. In generally, don't do that. But she goes back to smash and see the Chinese players. And this is perfect defensive position. Look at Huang Yaqiong. Huang Yaqiong is facing the shadow, and both feet set in perfect position. And look at Zheng Sui. Zheng Sui is almost in the center, almost to the center of the court. So he covers a very large portion of the court. So even if it's a male player, a male attack, he's already covering a lot of ground. He's helping his partner. So this is why these two works great together. That these little things, the little step, just half a step, can make a huge difference. And there's another thing I want you to look at. Look at Higashino's smash. And what was the problem? Well, because Higashino was going backward when she smashed. And after she smashed, she couldn't really go forward. Now, take a look at where Watanabe is. Watanabe is here and trying to go back. That's what male player is supposed to do. He's trying to go back. But in order for him to go back, Higashino has to go front. Because Higashino didn't go, and Watanabe cannot go back. So this is kind of a little bit disconnection. And as good as Zheng Sui is, and the both Chinese, as good as they are, they can see the big gap here clearly. That's why the shuttle was returned there. That's where the shuttle is. And you see how not passive, how much pressure these two Japanese players are under this rally there. So Higashino has to go a few steps to retrieve the shuttle, so she had no chance but to lift it. And you lift it to Zheng Sui, that's not a good idea. And also, if you notice that, you see Huang Yaqiong immediately goes forward, just in case she does something, a drop to the net or a kind of a flat push, and either way, she's going to intercept that. And Zheng Sui, because just one little step to the left, one little step to the center, that put him in position to not only intercept this shuttle, but to smash it back. And it turned out to be a winning shot. And this is just little things, just little things. Now, talk about little things. When I started playing badminton like years ago, and I noticed something is that the real good players, I actually played with the coach who was from China and is a world champion, and he played double, and he was coaching the Hong Kong team back then. I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to say when, but he used to play with us because he's friends with some of our club members, so he comes to play. He never comments on our game. I was like, wow, this is the coach for the Hong Kong team. If he tells me something, it's going to turn me into a great player right away. No, that's not how it works, okay? So I try to learn to keep my mouth shut these days as well, because everybody sees the game differently. If you are amateur, if your level is not there, you don't see what you could see, because if you're on the court, the game goes really, really fast, and you're not going to see that. So this is why there are lots of argument on the court, because people are seeing different things. So just because you can see doesn't mean the other person can see. And if you tell them, it's not going to change anything other than upsetting them. So that's why I try to keep my mouth shut these days. But it would be good to watch videos like this, so I can pause them and point it out and to show them to you. These little things, really, the little things makes the difference at this level, because everything else is great. Everybody does it in a great way. So Anyway, that's another rally. Let's take one more rally. You see that Higashino did that again. You know, she has the tendency to flip it up. When you flip it up, the shadow goes this way. Not only it goes up, it floats and make it easy to intersect. That was a really good rally there. Let's start from the beginning. Okay. So it's a relatively long serve. It's not a flick, but it's a relatively long serve from Watanabe to Huang. And Huang just put it back in front of the net. And Higashino intercepted that, but look at her racket. See the little flick up? That's how she did that. If she can go up and then push it downward, the shuttle will go downward. It will put the Chinese players in the defending position, but it didn't. So it was high, and so Zheng Sui can go up and then push it down and to the side, and you can see. See, Higashino is turning because it passed her. She couldn't get to it, and Watanabe had to go get it from a very low. See how low the racket is. So he had to get it from below the tape. When you get it so low from below the tape, there's not many things you can do really. So he basically had to lift it. Okay, it's a very good lift, and see where Zheng Sui jumps. See where he jumps. So it's a very good lift, and see Yachong is already in position to defend, and Higashino is in good position to defend as well. And so Zheng Sui is facing the male player, is facing Watanabe. So now let's see what he does. Okay, now he smashed straight to the sideline. What this does is this: when you smash it to the sideline, you got to smash it hard. Okay, hard and fast. When you smash it hard and fast, you force your opponent to return it straight back. So your opponent cannot really do it to the other side, and Watanabe can. Sometimes he can do that, but not in this case. Most of the case, like I said, it will go back to where it came from, so it's straight. And you can see that Yachong is already there, raising her racket to block it, because the shuttle didn't travel that far. And this one actually, the shuttle is right here. This shuttle actually could be either one of them. If Yachong goes the other way, Zheng Sui can go forward to keep smashing on that, and that's another choice as well. And I actually prefer that Zheng Sui does it, because Zheng Sui will go forward, the momentum will help his smash. But this is mixed double, so it's customary to keep the male player at the back of the court. And you see what I mean? When Yachong does that, Yachong cannot really smash it. So she did the smart thing to put it right in front of the net, which is a good choice. And see where Zheng Sui moves. When Yachong goes forward, Zheng Sui already moved here. Now what it does is this. So Huang Yachong is in charge of this region, the little triangle in front of her. So that's what she's in charge of. The rest of the court, all three other corners, are covered by the backcourt player. Same thing for male, for men's double or female double. It's the same principle here. Okay, so she put it there and she's ready to cover the net. So Watanabe has no choice but to lift. So Watanabe put it like half court to the other side, to force Zheng Sui to move. And Zheng Sui moved there, used the backhand smash. I don't care how good you are. The backhand smash is not going to cause any real issue. Really, at this level, it's very few people, their backhands are good enough to do that. I mean, Taufik Hidayat is the only player I saw whose backhand can cause real trouble. Every other player, they can do that from time to time, but not consistently. So, but that's okay. It still put the Japanese players in a defensive position. And you can also see when Zheng Sui goes forward to do the backhand smash, and Yachong is covering. Yachong is going back. So now Yachong is covering this kind of almost 2/3 of the court this way, and because Zheng Sui is over there, so he's kind of covering the front of the court. But of course, Zheng Sui goes back, and then Yachong goes forward. Let's see. Okay, see, Yachong smash it because she's moving backward, and Zheng Sui goes forward half a step to cover that. So this way, if it's over the head behind him, he can still cover that. And because Yachong is moving backward to this corner, and like the center towards this side will also be covered by Zheng Sui. So, and Yachong's smash is not that powerful, but it's sudden enough. So for the smash, it's like this: you go up, and then before you hit it, your opponent cannot really judge where it goes. So you use your finger to generate power, and then you put it in a certain position, and your opponent can only react. And so that's Watanabe react, and see the shadow goes back to where it came from. And Yachong starts to go forward and drop it in front of the Watanabe. The reason she keeps dropping it in front of Watanabe is because Watanabe is staying at the back, because he's the male player, his job is staying at the back. Now, that begs the question, where is Higashino? Higashino is too far. In my opinion, she's too far. She could go forward, take the advantage to go forward, because all the shadows are like going to Watanabe, so she could go to cover the net and see how fast the Yachong goes. See, Yachong put it there and then start to go forward, and now the shadow goes to the other side of the court. So that's a high lift, so they started to defend. Watanabe is a great player, really a great player. He sees the court really, really well and put the court, move his opponents really, really well as well. So, and it's a smash, and this is a great illustration, because you see that the shadow was lifted here. I'm talking about the previous smash, lifted there, and see, as a male player, Zheng Sui still goes closer to the side, okay, to cover the straight smash, and Yachong goes towards the center. You see that? So what that does is they kind of maintain a similar distance to the smash, so they are in good position. And because the lift is to the center, to the corner, and so they can do that. It's unlikely, it's very unlikely that they can smash it here or do a long cross to the back. So either one is unlikely, so they don't have to worry too much about that. And another smash, and both smash are in between the two Chinese players, but Zheng Sui was able to get the second one, and this is another one. So he moved Watanabe, and so he started to drive the shuttle to Higashino. And Higashino was good too. She's really good too. So she put it in front of Zheng Sui, and Huang Yaqing goes forward to intercept that. The thing about it, pay attention to Higashino. Higashino is a very capable player. To some extent, she's kind of like Huang Dongping of China. Very confident in their ability, so they have a tendency to go backward. It's not fully committed to go to the front of the net. Okay, so she tried to push it again. It's a little bit too high, in my opinion. So, and Zheng Sui was able to push it back past her. And see, it's the same idea. It's the same idea. Push past the front court player, so the backhand player had to lift it, and he tried to be clever to lift it across the court, but it's not deep enough. So Zheng Sui was able to kill it. Okay, so that will be it for this episode. Like I said, so please help and please subscribe and come back to enjoy more. And in the meantime, have a great day.